Good afternoon, visionary parents. How are you doing? Today is how to raise children who will not grow up traumatized. How to raise children who will be trauma free. Is there anybody that is really trauma free? Because we know that it's not all about the parents, it's the entire environment. The school is playing a role, the home is playing a role, the church is playing a role, their friends are playing a role, the neighborhood is playing a role, and everyone is planting seeds. So what do we want to do? Because there is no child really that can be, no human being that can grow up trauma free. But today we are learning how to raise children who, despite their trauma, despite betrayals, despite challenges, they are still going to rise above it. Nobody can be trauma free, but we can raise children who their traumas will not have to determine what they do. They will not behave from their trauma. They will behave from their whole self. We see things happening every day. Just this yesterday or so, there was a video trending of a boy who beat a girl. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. If a girl who beat a boy, according to the story, she's 18. According to the story, she started dating that boy when she was 15. Her mom passed when they were 7 or so. She was shipped from her father to a relative, and then she got married at 18. Enduring abuse, enduring beating and all of that. When I was watching the video, I was saying to myself, this may be trauma bonding, things like that, because who knows where she had been, who knows where she was raised. Everything came together to shape who she is. A while ago, I was responding to someone on the phone, on social media, and the person said something. I made a post about some of the things you are doing that you may end up raising irresponsible children, and the person made a comment, and I was responding to that person. I said, yes, you see, the teacher of today was once a child. The adult of today, your employer, your employee, your security man, the woman at the bank, the woman at the market, the leader today, everyone, we were once children. Today we are not just responding, we just don't react to life from just today. The way we were shaped, a lot of things that went into building us, they are actually what influence the way we respond, the way we show up. So you want to raise children who are not necessarily showing up from their pains, who are not showing up from their traumas, who are healed, who are whole. Who are whole rather. We cannot raise children who will not experience trauma. Because life is full of disappointments, life is full of betrayals, life is full of a lot of challenges that will imprint negatively in the heart of our children. But one thing we can do is we can raise children who rise above all of that. We can raise children who do not show up from their trauma. We can raise children who do not respond from their trauma. I think yesterday also I was watching a video, a Nigerian and a non-Nigerian, the same concept but different message at the end of the day. I don't know if you ever watched Super Stories in those days, a very old one. There was one they always used for adverts where the boy was on the rooftop and the father said, jump down, I will carry you, you will not fall. And the boy was asking the father, are you sure you will? The father said, yes, jump down, I will hold you, you will not fall. And guess what? The boy jumped down and the father moved away and the boy fell. And the father told the boy, never ever trust anyone in this life. Then, not even your father. Then they showed another video of a boy, a child also, who was about the same platform, maybe rooftop or something. And the father said, jump down. The child jumped down and the father grabbed the child. Now, the truth of the matter is, you see those two, if they were life experiences, they will shape those people differently. The one who jumped down, the father carried, will be more trusty. The one who jumped down, the father did not carry, will trust less. And it's not just about trust that it will end. It will reflect in very many aspects of the life. Now, this is one of the things trauma does. Baggages, childhood baggages, imprints, and all of that. One of the things they do to us is that it is not that exact thing that happened that it is just going to follow that thing. No, it is going to rub off on things associated to that thing in some other areas of our life. So that's one whose father said, jump down and I will carry you, and he jumped down. The father moved, and the father told him, never ever trust anyone in this life, not even me, your father. That one will not only stop trusting people, they may lose very many opportunities. Why? Because they do not have that trust. They may even end up always second guessing themselves, because they have been nurtured not to trust. When the father said, jump down, I will carry you, don't worry, and the father now said, do not trust anybody, not even me, your father. That is deep. Now, this is what happens every single day. So whether our children will show up trauma-free, whether they will show up whole, whether they will show up making progress with their lives, it depends on what we are planting in them today. Like I said, there is nobody in this world that will experience a trauma-free life. No matter how safe your home is, no matter how much you try to make the home a comfortable place for your child, it is not just all about you. There's a saying that it takes a village. It takes a village. It takes the teacher, it takes the pastor, it takes the neighbors, it takes television, it takes social media, all of that to actually imprint in the child. But what we are learning today is not that we are talking about, okay, our children will not experience life events that will traumatize them. We are talking about raising children who, despite life events, they are not going to show up traumatized. They are not going to show up from the place they have been. You know how we say that, I don't look like what I've been through. Our children will not show up like what they've been through. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Enimia Orebo. I am the lead coach at the Visionary Parents Academy. The Visionary Parents Academy is an academy where parents are empowered with skills, with information, with tools, skills and tools. Most importantly, we have information. Knowledge without applicability, the ability to apply it, is almost a waste. So we just don't teach, we also empower with skills and tools to be able to apply the knowledge. We are a very vibrant community, and this channel is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. It's actually for the visionary parents. You can join us if you are not a Visionary Parents Academy. If you are not a visionary parent, it's okay for you to join us and enjoy what you are doing today. So what you want to do today is to share the link, invite people, let them know that something is going on here. Because the truth of the matter is, you see that child that is traumatized out there, you see that child. I was writing a post a while ago. I said, I've written it, I'll share it later. I said that teacher was once a child. The way the teacher treats the children, deals with the children, will go a long way to shape who the children are becoming. And guess what? Thank you so much for joining. Said hi, hello, thank you so much for joining. The way that teacher is relating to your child will go a long way to shape that child. And guess what? What shaped that teacher? Where that teacher is coming from shaped that teacher. The doctor at the hospital, I saw a video yesterday and I shared it on social media. I said, behold a generation that turned out well. Imagine a hospital in, is it Port Harcourt or so, where people come and give birth. After giving birth, your baby is taken away from you. You are told your baby died, and then your baby is sold for 3 million naira. Just imagine all the stress. 9 months, 9 solid months, 9 whole months of all the stress, the drama. Take away the drama and the stress of expectation, of hope, of waiting to see a light at the end of the tunnel. And then someone takes that baby and sells it for 3 million naira. Where do you think that person had that mind from? No, it is not just the day they opened the hospital that they had that mind to do that thing. It is something that has always been there. One of the things I said the other day, I was talking about backpack. Was it here? I said, see, everyone carries backpack with us. We carry backpack. However, what happens is that just like you see someone passing along your street with a backpack, you don't know what is inside. The same way, we don't even know the backpack we are carrying until such a time that events, life, happenings They open our backpack. They try us. They tempt us. Now, this is why you say, I can never. And then you now find yourself doing it. I can never. No, I'm not bribable. You wonder why our leaders, they go to the seats or after all their promises. Frankly, many of them went there with the mind of actually being helpful. They went there with the mind of actually serving. But guess what? When they get there, their backpack is opened. They are faced with that thing they have not healed from. They are faced with that thing, seed that was planted in them. They see money. They are not able to say no. Because you see, greed has been nurtured in them. Now they see friends. They are not able to say no to friends. Because, that has been nurtured in them. They see their friends doing what is not right. They are not able to say no. They want to cover it. They see their relatives doing all sorts of manners. They are not able to say no. They want to cover it. At the end of the day, the system is corrupt. The system is not corrupt the day they ask them, very many of them, they do not plan that when they go there, they are going to make a mess of themselves or they are going to be bad leaders. They actually go there, they have good intentions, all the beautiful plans and all of that. But when they get there, events now begin to test what they have in them and they realize that they cannot deliver. You know why? Because that particular thing they had in them was never closed. They never got over it. They never learned better. So that is what they are going to do. Thank you so much. I'm doing well. My day is going fine. Thank you. So that is what happens. So when we now talk about trauma, we are not saying our children will not experience it. We pray they don't experience the ones that will break them. We know everybody. They have friends. They go to school. They meet people every day. They even watch TV. They hear news. I saw a little girl the other day was crying on social media that she didn't want to go to school. She was a toddler. She said because people are being kidnapped in school, she did not want to go to a school. She was crying seriously. That is trauma already. That's not the parent's fault. That is the fault of the society. So what we want to do as parents is that we want to make sure that whatever our children experience, they don't grow with it. They find their healing. They are healed before they become adults. They understand what is going on. They are able to separate themselves from their experiences, from their traumas before they grow up. They are able to understand even the message behind their experience before they go into adulthood, before they become independent. That is what we are learning, because whether we like it or not, our children will have certain experiences that may traumatize them, that may leave them carrying a baggage that is not originally theirs. So today, we are looking at ways we can actually raise children who are trauma-free. Like I said, nobody will grow up being trauma-free. But however, we can raise children who are not led by their traumas. Children who don't show up from this place of their trauma. Again, this is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. If you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to the channel. Copy the link and share. Invite everyone you know. Let them know that, see, we need to raise healed children so that we can have a healed society, we can have a healed space. And also, we are brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy, an academy where parents register and they get to be empowered all year long, from January to December. So what you want to do is to send a message on how you can join us in the Visionary Parents Academy. Let's go. Now, this may sound cliche, but it is the number one way for you to raise children who will not be traumatized in life. One, be their safe space. The world is toxic enough, like I always say, the world is toxic enough. People are going through a lot already. Be their safe space. Be their genuine safe space. I saw a video yesterday of a lady who was talking about how she left her marriage and she wanted to go learn a skill, and then she was looking for money, so she had to thank you very much, ma'am, or sir, African sightings. She had to go and she wanted to learn a skill, so she didn't have the money, so she left her kids with her mom, and then she went to look for money, and then she went to this surrogate company and they told her they were going to pay her 1.3 million naira to carry a baby for them for 9 months and deliver, then she'll give the baby to them. 1.3 million naira. That one was going through a whole lot. Now, I was just wondering, eventually she didn't take the offer. Eventually she was happy that she didn't take it. Her life became better. I was even wondering, what if she did not have a mom to take her babies away from her? Because she was even able to think of learning a skill, becoming better, because she had a mom who took her children from her. Now, if she did not have a mom who was a support system, what would she have done? She would have been dragging her kids along, and probably she would not have been able to make the success she has made within the space of 6 years. It is what it is. So the world is toxic enough. The world is bitter enough. The world is angry enough. One of the things you can do for your child is actually to be a safe space for your child. I've talked about this over and over again. Be a safe space. They go to school every day. They come back and they experience a lot of things. They meet their friends. They experience a lot of things. So when they come back home, do not reinforce that thing. Do not validate it. You hear their names, name calling, their mates, name calling, peer pressure. Even the teachers also, name calling, peer pressure, reckless, no professionalism for very many schools. What you want to do as a parent, when your child comes back, be a safe space. Do not reinforce that thing that they are doing outside. So if somebody calls your child name outside, labels your child lazy, you are not intelligent, you are nolodo, you are dumb, then when your child gets home, you are doing the same thing, that particular thing is going to, that label is going to follow your child. Your child is going to be broken. Now, this is one of the reasons I say to parents, especially parents who rush their children through school. I say to them, maybe your child is especially when your child is not of a particular age, you know, they are struggling academically, you are still pushing them. I say, what you end up doing, you don't realize it. Because when a child is struggling in school, the teachers are frustrated. Teachers are frustrated. They pick on that child. Once the teacher picks on the child, the other student in the class, they pick on the child too. The teacher calls the child name. It is what it is. Because teachers are human beings. The school management expects them to deliver. They expect them that, okay, to show results. And the results they have to show is your child's improvement, is your child's intelligence. That is the result they have to show. So when your child is not improving and is not showing intelligence, the teacher is frustrated. I know the average person is not emotionally intelligent. So when the teacher is frustrated, what do? They start picking on the child. And once the child is being picked on, before you know what is happening, the other classmates are picking on the child. And so the child is already feeling, because one, they are seeing their classmates, they are doing very well. So they are wondering, what is wrong with me? Why am I struggling so much? Am I really an olodo that the teacher is saying? Do I really deserve this thing that they are doing to me? Maybe I deserve it after all. And then the child is already processing that in their head. And then the child gets home. You as a parent, because you realize, okay, my child is struggling, you want to do everything within your power to make them catch up. So you buy books, you register them for lesson, offline lesson, register them for online lesson, you get revision teacher, you get extra teacher for them. And the child is still struggling. And then you are also frustrated. Because you are frustrated, you are now forced to also label your child. Tell them what the teachers are telling them in school. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? At the end of the day, you have labeled the child. You have given a child a baggage that the child is not supposed to carry, simply because you are the one rushing the child. Be your child's safe space. That's the number one thing you want to do. Be your child's safe space. How do you be your child's safe space? Number one, listen. Very many times we do not listen. Children have things to say. They experience things a lot. You are not patient enough to listen. To be your child's safe space, you must learn to listen. You must learn to listen. Now, listening makes people feel important. It makes them feel they have a voice. It makes them feel someone is seeing them. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Be your child's safe space. It makes them feel important. It makes them feel someone is seeing them. So when they go to school, they go out, people don't listen to them. When they come back home, you are listening to them. So you are not validating what is happening outside, because outside they don't listen to them. So when they come back home, when you not listen to them, it's because you are the most trusted person the child has. You are the most important person in your child's life. So when you listen, imagine they go outside, nobody listens to them. They come back home, you don't listen to them too. They feel okay, maybe they are worthless. They are not good for anything. They don't deserve to be listened to, or they are not making sense. They don't have anything to say. So what are you doing? You are already giving your child a baggage. So number one thing you want to do is you always listen to them. Yes, like I said to my daughter, she's a very strong character. So I always say, oh, I know you're a very strong character. There are some children that are very strong. You know, they want to defend themselves. They want to tell you no. They want to express themselves. Sometimes it can really, really be triggering. It can really, really be a headache. But this is why I was saying in the Visionary Parent Academy a while ago that rather than this morning, that our focus next year is parenting with the end in mind. You need to realize that it is not just about today. It is about tomorrow. It's about the adult your child is becoming. And there is something I always say to the visionary parents, which I also want to say here. If it may serve you, it may not serve your child. You may get away with some things, your child may not get away with some things. So you always want to parent with the end in mind. So your child is a strong character like my child. They are very expressive like my daughter. So even when you are dealing with them, just know that it is not you. It is not because of you, this tiny creature, that I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with the adult you are going to be. I'm dealing with the wife you are going to be. I'm dealing with the mother you are going to be. I'm dealing with the let me say your child wants to become a doctor. I'm dealing with the doctor you want to be. I'm dealing with the someone in front of patients you want to be. I'm dealing with someone who will get betrayed. I'm dealing with someone who will get disappointed. I'm dealing with someone who may want things and things may not work her way or his way tomorrow. I'm dealing with someone who will have domestic staff. I'm dealing with someone who will have who will be an employer, who will have employees. I'm dealing with someone who will be an employee tomorrow and will have employer. I'm not just dealing with you. It is not about you. So if it's about you, I will just take you and pound you and throw you away. But it is not you I'm dealing with. So right now, the tiny you does not matter as much as the person you are going to be. I'm dealing with someone who may have annoying friends. I'm dealing with someone who will be in the midst of people and they'll be pressuring him to do something or pressuring her to do something. So I'm dealing with that person who will be able to say, no, this is not what I want. So that is the person you are dealing with, and not necessarily you. And for you to deal with that person now, you know the kind of person, you need to learn to listen. So you don't want to tell them your voice don't matter. Because when you start telling them your voice don't matter, the world is already saying that enough. They're already saying it. Even if their teachers are not saying it, they're already seeing how their rights don't matter. How the average adult cares less about them. How I care about the children is just ceremonial. We see it in church already. Do you think children don't know? They see when they want to do Mother's Day in church, Father's Day in church, everywhere is hot, bubbling, everything is happening. But when it's Children's Day, it's just small noise. They see when it's an adult day, they go and cook plenty rice, kick cow, pack bag and all of that for them. But when it's Children's Day, they just give them tiny things. They are already seeing that they don't matter much. They are having that impression. They see how children are abused on social media. They know that they are vulnerable. They don't matter much. The average adult doesn't care about them. So they see their teachers, they see everything, and they see come home, you want to tell them that is true? No. So to be a safe space, you want to listen to them all of the time. Make them feel heard. Make them feel seen. Make them feel important. Even if the world doesn't listen to them, you want to listen to them because you are the most important person in their life. Eliminate shaming. Number 2, eliminate shaming from your vocabulary for you to be a safe space for your child. Eliminate shaming from your vocabulary. Children will make mistakes. Mistakes are a major part of life. I see how we do this every time. Parents, you tell a child, oh, mistakes are a major part of life. And when a child makes mistake, we want to now go all out, want to punish. So you want to punish a child for making mistake, and the same you are telling the child that mistake is a major part of life. Mistake is how people learn, and you punish the child for making a mistake. Make it make sense. But I know that children will make this kind of mistake that is foolish. Foolishness are bound in the heart of the child. So now this is why, as a parent, one of the things you want to always do, you make sure your children understand. Like I've taught my children the difference between sincere mistakes and nonchalance, careless mistakes. I tell them, you see, sincere mistake is okay, but see that nonchalance, there's a consequence for it. Sincere mistake, you just learn from your lesson. Oh, I passed this road and there's a hole, I didn't realize that I fell. Sincere mistake. What happens? I will not pass that road again. Lesson taken. Nonchalance, you are in the living room and you know that if you throw an object, it hits the screen, the TV, and it breaks, and you are in the living room and you are throwing an object. That is not a mistake. That is nonchalance, and that deserves consequences. For mistake, there is no need for consequence because it was not intentional. Your consequence will take your lesson and run. But you see nonchalance, you see careless mistake. No, you have trained a phone up. When you are not a baby, you train a phone up, it falls and the screen breaks. No, that is not a mistake. That is nonchalance. That is a careless mistake. There's a consequence for it. So your children have to understand these things. Teach them. It is super important. It is not negotiable. They will understand. Separate the behavior from the person. Now, this one can be very hard for us as parents. It can be very tough for us because when our children do things, we have been programmed to just label. For example, you are very lazy. It's quick for us to say it. Was it yesterday? I was going to talk to my daughter about something. I saw myself wanting to label her. I quickly stopped because I was looking for the best way to say that particular thing, address the behavior without attacking her, because that is one thing I have been teaching them for the longest time. And I also teach my teenagers in church. I'm sure I've talked about it in the Visionary Parent Academy. I tell them that if somebody does something, like this morning, they had an argument over whose duty was to sweep the family lounge because they rotate their duties. Whose duty was to sweep the family lounge? They had that argument. So I was telling them that at the end of the day, my son was saying something else. So I told him, no, the argument is about sweeping the family lounge. So your argument should revolve around sweeping the family lounge, trying to prove yourself that you were not the one that was meant to sweep it, trying to prove it that you were the one that swept it yesterday. That is your argument. Now, when you now leave that argument, you now begin to say, you are a liar, you are lazy, you just want to loaf. You are no longer addressing the argument. What you are doing is you are attacking the person. You are attacking the person. People get offended when you attack them. And when you attack people, you are not being kind. So for the longest time, I've been trying to teach my children this. And for parents, that is one thing we should also always know. Separate the behavior from the child. That the child has made a particular mistake does not mean that mistake is the child. The mistake does not define your child. So they may make the particular mistake, but it doesn't define them. So you want to separate that behavior of theirs from the mistake they have made. Just like I've explained using my kids as an example. The other day also, they were bickering, and from bickering, they went to talent. You don't have talent. I have more talent than you. I can do this. I say, seriously? That is not related to your argument. So go back to your argument and face it. If the argument originally about talent, good and fine, face it. But if the argument is not about talent, face the argument. You are trying to sell yourself. You are trying to say, no, face the argument. So that is one other thing we can do. Stop labeling the child. Separate the child from the behavior. Focus on the behavior. What is that particular behavior? You did not do your chores when you were asked to do your chores. That is the behavior. So talk about that. If there's a consequence, give that consequence. It doesn't have to be your child is lazy. For all you know, laziness may not be why they did that chore, why they didn't do the chore. It may be that they wanted to do the chore, something else came up, and they left the chore. It may be that they don't know how to prioritize, so they left the chore, and when they do something else that came up, so not labeling them, separate the behavior from the action, separate your child from the behavior. Another thing, fourth thing to be a safe space to your child is validate your child first. We've talked about this over and over in the Visionary Parents Academy. The first thing you want to do is to validate your child. The first is not the same thing as agreement. To empathize with your child, to listen and understand where they are coming from. It doesn't mean you agree with your child. No. Very many times my children come and they have issues, whether at school or anywhere. They talk about it. When they bring up the issue, we spend time analyzing the issue, talking about it. So at the end of the day, we now bring it down and we now do collaborative problem solving. By then, I have validated them. I have empathized with them. I have told them I know exactly where they are coming from. But that does not take away the truth. So first of all, validate your child. You know, that is one way to make your home, make you a safe space for your children. Be predictable. Your children should know what to expect. What to expect. Have structure, have routine, have your family constitution. These things help you to be predictable, and your children know what to expect. They are safe. Don't spring surprises, of course, except his birthday surprise, except his new gift surprise. Apart from that, be predictable. Have a rhythm in your home. Let them understand. Let your home not be chaotic. Your children, they don't know, okay, if today daddy and mommy, they are going to fight. If today mommy is in the mood and she's going to give me backhand, or what do we usually call it? Factory reset. No, be very predictable. Your child knows exactly what they will do and they got in trouble. They know what they will do and they will not get in trouble. Be predictable. Now let's move on to the next. I've talked about be a safe space for your child. I don't want to dwell on that too much. I've already dwelt on it already. I don't want to dwell on it too much. So let's go into this major second thing we can do to raise children who will not be traumatized. Number one, I said be a safe space for your child. Be that person your child can come and run to. There are so many things, so many ways, so many things we do that at the end of the day, we are not safe. Our children don't trust us. You see children trusting other people. They don't trust us. You see things we expect them to tell us. They don't tell us. It is not just because they don't want to tell us. It's actually because we have not been able to convince them that we are safe for them. And if your child is not convinced that you are a safe space for them, a lot of things happen outside. Who will they tell? How will they come and tell you? They will not come and tell you. Now, if they do not come and tell you, how will you help them find closure? How will you help them find healing? That is it. So be a safe space for your child. Be that parent that your child can talk to. They can tell anything. They are crushing on someone. They can come and tell you. They see their first menstrual flow. They can come and tell you. They experience wet dream. They can come and tell you. Anything. They can come and tell you. Have conversations with them. Be a safe space. Someone they can come and tell. Please. And another thing where you can do this is there is no forbidden topic. There is no topic that is so heavy for you to talk to your children. When parents ask me the question, when should I start sex education? I said from day one. From day one. It is why we encourage things like name body parts the way they are. Because once you start calling the vagina one other thing, the penis one other thing, you are already making it heavy. By the time your child grows older, it becomes already heavy for you. You will not know when to start again. So from day one, start it. Start it. Start having conversations with them. See, your children will experience a lot of things outside. When you're already having some certain conversations with them, it is easy for them to come and tell you something like, so mommy actually said this. Daddy said this. Oh, okay, I have an experience. Let me come and tell. Whether good experience, whether bad experience. Now, this is why I say to parents, you were once a child. One of the things you can do is also to share your experiences, your childhood experiences with your children. The other day, my son and I were talking. After junior work, he's learning a skill. So he came back and was saying he ate okpa. I think I made a post about it already on Facebook. He said he ate okpa for the first time. So I was telling him that's peer pressure. He said, how is it peer pressure? Nobody forced me. Nobody manipulated me. I said, okay, maybe not peer pressure, but peer influence. And before I even started, I had to share my experience with him. How I cooked groundnut soup for the very first time. It was peer influence. I had to explain to him what peer influence was. And guess what? From that conversation, it opened up to a lot of other conversation about peer influence, about what people do that kind of are attractive, they may seem exciting, and all of that. That happened because I had that conversation with him. So I taught him how to have boundaries, where to stop, how to watch out for. Because I told him, imagine, because what actually happened was he started working there, and every time they're always talking about, oh, a woman that says okpa, a woman that says okpa. They're always talking about that. So he also felt, okay, let him try the okpa that everybody's excited about. They're always arguing about. That each time the woman doesn't come, they are furious. So they are upset in a way. Let him try it. And that was it. So I told him, imagine if it was drug, imagine if it was alcohol, imagine if it was woman, imagine if it was betting, imagine if it was fraud. You may also be enticed or feel, oh, it's so exciting, let me also try it. So have conversations with your children. Talk to them, speak their love language. Touch them, hug them, serve them. Just do everything to make them make yourself a safe space for them. Number 2, we are sharing just only 2. 1, be a safe space, and 2, teach skills. Teach skills. Teach skills. Teach skills. One of the first things you want to teach them is self-evaluation. Self-evaluation. Because sometimes people carry these baggages, you don't even realize it. So when someone points out to you that you are carrying a baggage, the first thing you want to do, you want to defend yourself. You want to say, no, I'm not carrying a baggage, it's not me. This is just, you want to teach them self-evaluation. Because a lot of the things we do, they are not just coming from nowhere, they are coming from somewhere. So you want to teach them to learn how to pause and reflect on where they are coming from. Pause and evaluate. Where am I coming from? What did that thing, this journey, plant in me? How am I showing up? You want to teach them that. Skills. Teach them how to evaluate themselves. How to know if their past is what is influencing their present. How to know where the seeds planted in them, what is happening. Teach them. Let them also sit down and be able to evaluate. It is super important. Just as adults, we are able to evaluate. Let them also see where their choices are coming from. Like I said to my son, my children generally, if there is a particular food they don't want to eat, I always ask them, okay, where is this? I don't like this food. Where is it coming from? Let's see. Is it just that maybe you don't like the texture, you don't like the taste, you don't like how it feels, or someone said something about the food in the past and so you stop liking it? So if there's someone in your class that you don't like, why don't you like the person? Is it about what someone has said about the person? Is it about what the person did? Is it about what you fear the person will do, who the person is, or anything? Let's talk about it. So make sure your children from small, you are teaching them to self-evaluate. Now, this is why you also teach them that it is not an emergency. It's not an emergency. So they should also be able to sit back, pause before they react. And in that moment of pausing, they don't pause in emptiness. In that moment of pausing, they will reflect, what is happening right now? Why am I feeling the way I am feeling? Why do I think the way I want to respond is a valid way? What is this trying to communicate to me about me, or even about the person I want to deal with, or about the situation I want to deal with? Teach them to evaluate all the time. That way they know when they want to react from their traumas. That way they know when they want to carry the trauma cycle on. Number 2, teach them to forgive. Forgive self. Forgive things around them. Teach them to let go. Forgiveness is one of the major tools we must teach our children. Teach them to forgive. Forgive where they are coming from. Forgive their parents. Forgive their friends. Forgive everyone. Teach them to forgive. Teach them to separate a past event from a present event. Are they going to learn lessons? Yes, they are going to learn lessons. But their lessons is what will influence their decision, their choice, and not necessarily the whole event. So teach them to forgive and teach them to separate the past from the present. Teach them emotional regulation. It is super important. They should learn to pause and think through before they act. It is never an emergency. Of course, except there is literally fire on the mountain. It is never an emergency. Teach them, build their self-confidence, self-identity. I've talked about this. Let them know that what they go through in life doesn't define them if they do not want that thing to define them. They will go through anything, but that thing does not define them. It is not their destination. If they do not allow that thing to define them, that thing will not define them. So you want to help them be rooted in who they are. You want to build their confidence. Let them be rooted in who they are. And your children cannot be rooted in who they are if the society is telling them something they are not, and you are validating that thing. Like I said, school will call them Olodo. We have read the story of Ben Carson over and over again. Imagine if when he was failing in school, the friends were calling him Olodo, let me use that word, and the mother at home was also calling him that name. What do you think would have happened? He would never have found his life. He would never have found his way. But his friends were calling him. The teachers, they thought he was not smart. His mother did not see that. So don't see your child based on even where they are or what they are doing or the reports you get. See your child based on where your child is going, what you know about your child. See your child, and guess what? If you know where your child is going, that will determine the things you will do. People say your child is dull. Don't see your child as dull. The teacher reports your child to you. Don't see your child as a report of your teacher. Don't see your child as the complaint of the other students. Don't see your child as the complaint of the siblings. See your child through the lens of where your child is going, what you have in mind for your child, the vision. Again, Ben Carson's mom, the classmate, they call him not smart. The teachers also saw him not smart because he was not pushing himself. But the mother did not see him as that. The mom saw a different thing. He saw children that will be on TV. He saw a son that will be on TV. So what did she do? Based on what she was seeing, she created a structure. She made plans based on what she was seeing. So nurture a strong personal identity, self-identity in your child. Nurture their self-confidence, not even based on where they are or what they are doing or the circumstances around them, based on where they are going, based on what you are convinced in your heart that they are going. This is why in the Visionary Parents Academy, one of the first things we do is to have a vision, a parenting vision. Because once you have a vision, you know where your family is headed, you know where your children are headed. Then it is based on that you are going to create your structure. It is based on that you are going to know how to raise your child. That is it. Raise your child to be confident. Raise them to believe in who they are. When they know who they are, no matter the event, they are not going to be broken. They are going to believe in themselves. They are going to rise up and they are going to keep going. Perfectionism will not hold them. They will not want people to validate them based on where they are going. Nurture self-confidence in your child. Nurture self-identity in your child. Teach boundaries. Teach them how to set boundaries. Teach them how to know what is going on around them. How to set boundaries, even boundaries for yourself. Boundaries for yourself. Yes, they are going to have an experience that will keep showing up all of the time. That may be showing up, robbing their peace, robbing their opportunities. What do they want to do? They want to set boundaries and come out strong. One thing again we want to teach our children is to raise them to have support system. No one does life alone. They cannot do life alone. I teach my teenagers this thing almost every Sunday in church. They cannot do life alone. They need people who know where they are going on their own, and then your children, where your children are going, and they work together. Because yes, they are going to have events of the past coming to steal their joy. They are going to have their traumas, their baggages, and all of that. But if they have people who are able to remind them of where they are going, a strong support system, who are able to push them, who are able to make sure they achieve their goals, they are going to rise above the trauma. Now, one of the best legacy we can give our children is raising them to understand the power of society, of association, the power of connection, the power of network. Is for us to raise them to understand that they cannot do life alone. They cannot do life alone. They will need knowledge. They need to read books. They need to take courses. They need to be with friends, with people. They need to have mentors. They need to have a community, a strong support system. That is one of the best things we can do for our children, is to raise them to know that they cannot do life alone. So they shouldn't try to do life alone. And when we talk about life alone, one is having a strong network, a strong association, strong people around you. Another one is to keep learning and unlearning. Now, the last thing I want to share is raise children who learn, who have growth mindsets. Nurture growth mindset in them. Nurture willingness to learn and unlearn in them. This will help them go away from trauma. This will help them live above their trauma. They are willing to grow. They are willing to learn. Not children who will always be defensive. Not children who cannot be corrected. Not children who will think, oh, who are complacent. I have reached the end of it all. No. Children who are self-drivers, who are ready to learn, who are ready to grow, who realize, okay, this situation, I can grow past it. Deliberately nurture the growth mindset in them. With the growth mindset, they are going to sit down and even grow, understand when situations are influencing their reactions and responses, and it is going to help them a great deal. So 2 major things I taught today. I said, number 1, be a safe space for your child. To raise a child who will be trauma free. And remember I said nobody in this life is trauma free. Even Jesus Christ of Nazareth went through a lot of trauma when he was alive. So children, they are going to go through traumas. They are going to carry baggages as they go. But what we want to do is we want to empower them to be able to live a life that is not determined or influenced by what they experience, that is not influenced by their experiences, baggage, or anything. That is what we want to do. And I said the first one is be their safe space. Be their safe space. Because they go through a lot every day. When they come back home, be their safe space. Remind them of who they are. Remind them that they are loved. Remind them that what happened out there doesn't define them. What happened out there has nothing on you if you choose for it not to have something on you. Be their safe space. I mentioned some of the ways you can be your child's safe space. And I have a mini ebook. If you're a visionary parent, ask me for this book and I'm going to give you. Ask me for how to win your child's trust. I'm going to give you. If you're not a visionary parent, you can ask me how you get it and I'll tell you how you get it. That will teach you how to be your child's safe space. We have over 30 things we should be doing as parents to be our children's safe space. So your child's safe space, when they come to you, they find peace. When they come to you, they are able to talk to you. Because it is when they find peace with you that they are able to talk to you. Now, it is when they are able to talk to you, you understand what is going on in their mind, in their life. Now, it is when you understand what is going on in their mind, you are able to teach them how to cope, teach them skills, help them heal, help them find closure. That is why one of the things I teach my children is that, see, you come inside, my home is peaceful. Peace reigns here. Peace. Above everything, we have peace and love in my home. You know why? Because the world is chaotic enough. So when you now live, when you are coming in, you are coming into a safe space. I give them this example. I said, when you are outside, you see that there is so much sun. Everywhere is hot. So what happens? When you now come inside the house, You see that everywhere is so refreshing, whether the fan is on, the AC is on or not. Everywhere is so calm, so refreshing. I tell them this is how your home is supposed to be. And the home is not just the furniture in it, the home is actually the people in it. So provide peace in the home. So as a parent, it is exactly what you are supposed to be. Outside is hot, it is chaotic. So when your child gets home, they should find peace. They should find rest in you. When they are going through something outside, they should be able to call you. They are not calling you because they cannot figure it out. They are not calling you because they cannot take initiative. They are calling you because you are their safe space. They can just talk to you. They can vent. They can be vulnerable. They can cry. They can run their decisions by you. That is why they are calling you, not because they don't know what to do, or they don't know how to take initiative. So be your child's safe space as a parent. It is important, it is non-negotiable. And the other thing is to teach. Teach everything you can teach. Build their self-confidence, build their self-esteem, because they will go through a lot of things outside. If they are not self-confident, they will be easily broken. They will be easily broken. But when they know that, okay, this is temporary, this does not define me, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? When they know that they are self-confident, they know that this particular thing does not define me, it's temporary. So they are not going to commit it so much to heart. They are not going to carry it on. They are just going to drop it and move along. Now, this is why you must build their self-confidence. Now, this is why you must build the person, their identity. Let their identity be strong. Let them know who they are. I was telling the Visionary Parents Academy the other day, this is why I have something my children did. I wish it was here. I think it's supposed to be here. It's under some books. I asked them to write about themselves. Write who you are. And they wrote about who they are. So when they come to me and they tell me, Mommy, somebody said I'm this, I ask them, okay, I checked through the list. I didn't find this particular thing in you. Could it be that the person is not talking to you? It's not about you. The person wasn't talking to you. So if the person knows you, they will know who you are. So they don't know you. So they are not talking to you because you know who you are. So you shouldn't be offended. So build who they are. Let them know who they are. Events will happen. I am not someone that gives up. I am not someone that is afraid to try. I am not someone that stays in an environment that is hostile to me. I know how to set my boundaries. Teach them. Nurture self-confidence in them and help them understand who they are. Now remember, this is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. If you have followed me to this extent, that means you have learned a lot. So you want to share some of the things you learned in the comment section. You also want to share your questions. If you have any questions in the comment section, you also want to share your questions in the comment section. You can be sure that we'll come back to take your questions. If you want to join us in the Visionary Parents Academy, drop a message in the comment section asking how you can join the Visionary Parents Academy, and you will join. Thank you. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.